Southall looks like any London borough until you notice that most people in the streets have dark skins and you look more closely at the shops. The Asian community here started over 15 years ago, and today some 18,000 Asians live in an area of 1¼ square miles.
So I'll tag the shape creator, well, not the creator, but, the person who's got that, and please go and look at it. It brings back some wonderful memories to me, and I'm hoping to open up a conversation about how valuable the Asian immigrant population has been to us. I lived in Barnes, not Southall, and I have wonderful memories of when I was a child, the old way of the corner shops like Arkwright that opened all hours, and the greengrocers and the fruiterers and the butchers, the bakers and that was starting to die off. That was where people of my grandmother's generation, how they'd always shopped. You went to your local high street and you bought things individually. But Barnes was quite a smart area, and we had a lot of richer media types, and they would all go to places like Waitrose and Safeways, the new supermarkets down on the Upper Richmond Road. But the older people didn't. It was a bit far for them to walk, and it was a bit difficult to carry all that back. And that wasn't how they were used to shopping. They were used to shopping somewhere. But the people who owned the corner shops and they themselves were getting on, and they weren't open all hours anymore. They were getting old. They wanted to retire. Some of them could retire and some of them should have retired, but whatever. And I remember with great affection one of the shops in White Hart Lane being opened up by a young Asian couple. I think he was called Pat, with his wife and their son and their mother. I know she didn't like living with her mother-in-law, and he was wonderful. They sold everything. I mean, it was clean, it was tidy, from the floor to the ceiling. It was stocked with anything that you could want. If you went in on a morning and said, "Oh, I was looking for a tin of blue hippopotamus," he'd have it by that afternoon. He'd nip out to the wholesalers. But the thing that always struck me was how good he was with the older customers, because, like I said, they were the ones that couldn't get down to the supermarkets or just didn't. He would take their shopping home for them. He wouldn't let my grandmother or my aunt carry heavy things. He was worried about them. He would either deliver it and say, "Oh, can you wait an hour and I'll drop it to your house," which he would. Or if they couldn't wait, he would walk them home with it to make sure they got home safely. Wonderful people. And I know that the Asian community suffered the most horrendous racism, really, really bad through the 70s and 80s. And I remember, Rock Against Racism and all of this coming out as an older teenager in the 70s and thinking that we'd cracked it. And we're back there again. So those of us who are old enough to remember that, and I'm sure there are many of you, have some wonderful memories of the benefit that the immigrant community brought to us then and has continued to bring, and has remembered how we fought then to stop racism. And hopefully we can stop it now, because we need these immigrants. They have always given us a good deal. They gave us a good deal then, and we're getting a good deal now. They've been with us for generations. They are British, and we need them.